Guys, what's up? It's Mel. Welcome back to the channel. Now what I'm going to do today is actually go through the 10 fountain pens that I keep and that I have on rotation on a daily basis. These are all inked and they are all different. So let's just go ahead and get started. And I will do a writing sample of each pen in my notebook and I will tell you what ink I'm using as well. So this particular pen, this first pen up here, this is a Sailor Pro Gear Slim, and this is a Shikiori Dragon Palace in medium fine. It does have a 14K nib, as you can see, and this is actually inked with Dominant Industries Savorite. So that is that pen. And I'll insert some clips of me writing with it here. All right, this is another Sailor Pro Gear Slim. And that's also a medium fine 14K nib. This one is inked with Celadon Cat, which is a blue color. This is a Sailor Pro Gear Slim limited edition. It's in Manyo Red Bean, or Manyo Red Bean. It's in a medium fine as well, 14K nib. This one though is a silver nib. So instead of looking like the gold ones, this one is just a silver 14K nib. And this one is inked with Sailor, I believe it's called Azuki ink. It's purple. It matches the pen. It came with it actually. All right, this one is a Sheaffer 100 coffee edition. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it actually has a little coffee cup with a heart on the finial. It's very cute, and it's definitely a gradient. Everything has the bronze trim, bronze nib. It's a steel nib, so it's this I believe is in a medium. Yeah, it's a medium nib. So this one I have inked with Robert Oster's Cafe Crema, because how can you not have a coffee ink with a coffee pen? Next up, we have our TWSBI Eco, and this is a piston fill with a steel nib. This is in the colorway Persian Green. And I actually have this inked with Sailor Ink Studios 935. And this is in, I believe this is a fine nib. Yeah, it's a fine nib. So this is inked with a purple ink, which is not anything like the color. Next up is one of my personal favorites and my actual first fountain pen that I ever purchased. And it is the Pilot Vanishing Point Decimo in fine. I actually purchased this in the fine nib, and then I also purchased an extra nib for it in the extra fine. But this is inked with Diamine Aurora Borealis. So this one is just a click pen. Next up, we have a Lamy All-Star, and this actually did not come with a converter. You needed to buy the converter separate, so I did buy the proprietary Lamy converter. This is a fine nib, and I believe this is a limited edition pink color. It's called Autumn Pink. So this is the All-Star, and it does have a little window where you can see the ink, so that's nice. And it does have a lighter pink finial. This is a Pilot E95S, and this is a medium nib. It's a 14K nib as well. It takes a Con 40 converter, which is not the best. It's actually very small. I actually used to try and fill this with the actual converter in an ink bottle up through the nib, but I found that it didn't fill up the converter. So I just, I do draw up some from the nib. That way I get good writing right away with the nib, but I will take out the converter and actually use a syringe to fill it. And this is a pocket pen, so it actually posts really nicely, and this fits very nicely in the crook of my hand to write. So that is the E95S. Oh, I love that. It's so smooth. And this is the Burgundy and Ivory color. All right, this is a Pilot Custom 743, and it is in the black and gold colorway. This has a soft, fine nib. It is gold. This is actually a 14 karat nib, and this is again a soft fine. So this has a little bit more bounce than a regular nib would. It's not as bouncy as a Falcon nib, but it still gives some decent line variations, you know, if that's what you're looking for. And it will give you a nice, sturdy, fine line if you do not apply much pressure. And this is actually inked with TWSBI Midori. I don't think I told you what I inked this with. This is with the Sailor Dipped-In series, and this is in Blue Flame. This is actually a really cool sheening ink. There's no glitter in it, but it does sheen red. It's a blue, navy blue ink that sheens red, and the TWSBI Midori ink is a shifting ink as well, sheening ink, and it goes from like a dark, dark, dark teal color to a burgundy color. And then this is the last pen that I have in my pen case. This is another Custom 743 from Pilot. This is in their Verdigris color. I believe this is a US exclusive. And this is a Falcon nib. Again, it's a 14K gold nib. You can see it has some ink on it. This is inked with Pilot Irishizoku Suigyoku ink. And that's like a teal color. It matches the pen. It's very matchy-matchy. And this will give you amazing line variation. Like, this is what I use to practice my calligraphy with, and like hand lettering. I don't do like traditional calligraphy. I usually do bounce lettering, but it gives me good line variation, especially with very minimal pressure. So I love this pen. It's probably one of the best things I've ever added to my collection, but that doesn't mean that I don't love my other pens. I definitely use my Sailor Pro Gear Slims a lot. I do have 24 fountain pens in total. I have another Lamy All-Star. That was another special edition with this pink pen. I got it in the sage green color. I've got a couple more TWSBI Ecos, a Monteverde Invincia Vega. I do have a Banu Talisman in the Lily of the Incas colorway, and I did mention the Delta Duna. I do have that here with me. This is a Delta Duna, and this is very similar to the SD Sweet Dreams pen. And this is, I'll count this as like a special mention or an honorable mention. This was actually a collaboration with Delta and Atlas Stationers on the 2024 limited edition pen. It's called Happiness again, and they only made 150 of these. So I got pen number 139. I know you can't see it here, but it is engraved. And this comes with a steel nib. I got it in fine. And yeah, I love this pen. I'm not super crazy about the ink that I've inked it with, but I love this pen. It's very pretty, very me, very tie-dye. So I do have some cheapy pens off of Amazon. I have a couple Hongdian. I have an N8, an N9. I have an 1851 in the Rainbow Forest, and then I believe I also have two M2s, which are pocket pens. They look like this. Let me get one out. I have one in the brown colorway and then this green colorway as well. And these are just steel nibs. They actually write really well. They're super smooth nibs for only being like $20. These are some of the best pocket writing pens that I've gotten. Like, to compare, this pen wrote great out of the box. This pen, the Banu Lily of the Incas, did not write fine out of the box. This pen gave me so many problems. It came with a Schmidt nib, and it is a steel nib, but this pen did not write smooth. I tried everything. I tried mesh, I tried, flossing the tines, I tried sanding it down, nothing worked. It did not get any smoother, and honestly, it was just a bad nib. I thought that it was this kind of nib that was not good, but it honestly ended up just being that particular nib. So I did get a replacement nib from Gold Spot, and that was the only place that I could find a Schmidt No. 6 steel nib that would fit this pen, because I guess it is somewhat rare to find. So just a little side note, this is a pretty expensive pen. I think this was $172 before tax. This is $20. This is a $20 pen, and it writes better, I would say, even now than this pen. And yes, it's pretty. Function over prettiness every day. That's why I don't use this pen as much. I do use this one though. So that's all I have to say about that. And then I think the last pens that I have are actually a couple Lamy, or not Lamys, they're Kavegos. I have two Kaweco Sports. This one in the mint green color, and then this special edition pearl color. This one, I believe, this is a medium nib, and I did switch that out. I actually got this in a fine. I got both of these in fine. And then I switched them out for a medium in this one. And this one actually has Diamine's Safari ink in it. And you do have to purchase converters for these. So I have a converter in this one, the mint green one, and this is a broad nib, a broad Kaweco nib. And I do have a converter in this one, but it's one of those kind of piston fill ones, or a plunger, I guess is what you would call it, a plunger fill. And I just sprayed ink all over my desk, but that's okay. So yeah, this is a plunger fill, and it's pretty messy, as you can see. But these two pens, very good for pocket pens. I love them. I think they're great for, you know, any kind of writing, especially with good glitter inks. These will handle well. And the TWSBIs, the Ecos with a medium or a broad nib will work excellent with glitter inks. So I would take that with what you will. All right, y'all. That is it for today. I can do the rest of my fountain pens another day, but this is the top 10 that I love. And again, we can go through them. I've got 3 Sailor Pro Gear Slims in medium fine, the Sheaffer 100 Coffee Edition, a TWSBI Eco, a Pilot Vanishing Point Decimo, a Lamy All-Star, a Pilot E95S in medium, and then 2 Pilot Custom 743s, both in, one in soft fine, one in Falcon. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.